Hi guys, so we want to tell you a story.
Just a little story.
We were up until about 5 a.m. last night, so we're pretty tired, but we definitely just want to share the story while we can and while it's still fresh.
So last night around 11:30, 12, we went to get in the shower and Aaliyah started having some intense pains, but it was like unidentifiable because you don't really know what it is when it starts. So we got in the shower and I went in to be supportive and be with her to figure out what this was, and she would just describe it as a tightening in her stomach.
I had a tightening in my stomach.
She couldn't really talk, so when I would say,
Yeah.
what does it feel like? It's just like, so I just had to be there.
So my whole vision went red. I started to try and stretch underneath the water. I was bending down, I was crouching over. I got on all fours and I was trying to do like some downward dog, trying to take the tension out of my back. I could feel Sage and I could feel that she was really, really hard in my stomach.
What we had done, if she ever felt, like for example, a Braxton Hicks contraction, which happens way earlier than, actual labor, was we would make sure she was hydrated, and usually warm water like a bath or a shower and walking around helps. But in this case, none of those really helped. More than like coaching someone through this, I just had to be there for her to get her whatever she needed, make sure I could be any kind of anchor, any kind of rock. I remember specifically, she said to me when we were like halfway through the shower, just be my rock, because she knew that she didn't know exactly what she was going through, and therefore I wouldn't know exactly how to help. So I just remember her saying to me, just be my rock. So I kind of got quiet, backed off, and just gave her the space, to whatever position she needed to be in, wherever she needed to move, temperature hotter.
Since I felt Sage so heavy in my stomach, I kind of wanted to release the pressure. I was on all fours anyways in the shower, so we started a bath, and as the bath was filling up, Hunter just started like pouring water over my stomach, making me feel warm, making her feel warm, trying to, relax my muscles. And
her back too.
Yeah, my back.
A lot of these, pains would just wrap around to her back, lower back especially. So when she was like on all fours, I would reach down and just try and scoop with my fingertips around her belly and, hold it up as much as I could and be supportive at least until the water filled up enough that, Sage and her belly could just be submerged and I could take the pressure off.
Yeah. So the bath filled up and it kind of relieved some of the pressure, but not really. I was still having pain, and that was when we just both looked at each other in the eyes and we go, oh my god.
This is happening?
These are contractions, Then I was able to actually focus and be like, okay, what is this pain? And I could tell that they would last for about a minute and a half each time, and the space in between, like time in between, was about 4 minutes.
Consistently.
So then we realized they were contractions, and not once was I scared or, felt unsafe.
Yeah, fearful at all.
Because, we just looked at each other and we had each other and we had love, and yeah.
After about half an hour in the bath, just trying to see if it would go away and coping with the pain in that way in the bath, hoping the warm water would work like it usually did, we got out. We continued to track her contractions on her phone app, which was really helpful, except for the fact that they were so close together and they were so frequent that the app started saying, get ready.
Go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital. You're in labor. But we decided, her water didn't break. There was no bleeding, so we decided to wait it out a little bit, and I put on some calm music on the TV, kind of lit candles, saged a little bit.
Made me some tea.
Made raspberry leaf tea, which is essential for third trimester pregnancy and for
anything I asked for, you were there.
just anything, because
put pillows underneath my legs.
Yeah, just anything. I didn't really rub her back once we got out, because at that point it was like, okay, I'm going through contractions, can't really be touched, but making sure she was in the most comfortable position, not worrying about anything external. That way she could be completely internal, her and Sage, and that
Yeah.
connection, you know. But after about another half hour of this, we had texted our midwife, and it was almost 1 in the morning, so of course, you know, she didn't answer.
Yeah,
She
so we
was
gave it a little
asleep.
bit longer, listening to some soft music, drinking some tea, trying to deal with the contractions. I did a little bit of yoga, or at least I tried to do a little bit of yoga. I tried to stretch, but then we decided we should call her. So we called her, and her husband answered, and he's like, hello? And it's like 1 a.m., so of course they were sleeping. And he was like, hi, are you looking for Car? And we're like, yes. And we're like, we think we're in labor. So you hear him shuffling and trying to give her the phone.
Like
and
3-4 minutes of shuffling and doors
Yeah.
opening.
So yeah, so he hands the phone over to her, and we're talking to her, and she says, okay, this definitely sounds like early labor.
Not Braxton Hicks.
It doesn't sound like Braxton Hicks. So, you know, I'm 33 weeks right now, and I have to be between 36 and 40 weeks for our midwives to help. So she goes, you know, if this continues for the next hour, and if they don't stop, you know, you guys have to go to the hospital. You guys have to go to the hospital.
So of course, immediate question after that was,
So I was like,
can we do it ourselves?
do you guys have an extra tub? Can we do it ourselves?
You know, we didn't want to go to the hospital.
I mean, after, you know, 9 months of extended research and hours put into knowing exactly what we wanted and, like, the safest way to bring our baby into this world, you know.
And also going from the hospital to working with the midwives is just...
Completely
it
different.
completely shifted the vibration of the pregnancy. So to go back to that, it really wasn't what we wanted. Our midwife essentially told us, you gotta go to the hospital if this continues, but give it another hour. If the contractions get closer together, or if they get more intense, or if it's been a whole hour and they're still happening the same way, they're not slowing up at all, give me a call and go to the hospital and I'll meet you there. So we decided to give it an hour, continue with the soft music, the stretching as best as possible, tea.
We looked at each other and we were just like, oh man, like, are we going into labor? And Hunter said to me, he was like, he started getting all teary-eyed, and he was like, are we meeting Sage tonight? Like,
Is this happening tonight? Are we meeting her tonight? It's May 8th. Are we gonna meet her tonight?
May 8th, and our due date is June 23rd.
And I just totally remember the whole time, like, I don't know, like her due date is like around the summer solstice, and it's Cancer, and you know, it's things that we had thought about for a long time. Not identifying with them, but
not identifying or having expectations or attaching, but just the fact that her due date was
just like kind of gave us
a
insight to her
Cancer
personality.
sign. We're both water signs. She would be, you know, another water sign, or the last water sign available.
So just in addition to getting thrown the loop of going into labor a month and a half early, was like, May 8th, what does that mean? You know, 5/8, is there any significance in this date? Just anything, like, you know, why is she choosing now?
As we accepted that we were going into labor, Hunter called his mom. You know, I'm still having contractions, so I'm not talking. And he calls her, and he kind of just informs her of everything that's going on, what we're doing. We're probably going to have to go to the hospital, and we think we're in early labor. So she's like, oh, you know, she's sleeping too. She's like, oh, okay, well, you know, pack a bag. So we hung up with her. We started packing a bag. You know, packed some shirts, some clothes,
Food, water, camera, because, you know, we plan on hiring a videographer, but, you know, no time to do that. So we packed camera, diapers, wipes, lots of crystals.
Yeah, crystals, sage.
What else? You know, beanies for Sage.
Oh yeah,
onesies.
We grabbed her car seat.
Car seat, yeah. Put that in the car. Sacred Birthing, a book that Aaliyah's reading.
Yeah, Sacred Birthing. And yeah, so we started packing everything together, and I'm seeing.
Just
Well,
whatever we could grab.
he kind of starts packing everything together, and I'm just looking at it at the door, like
Getting her dressed
all the stuff by the door, and I just sit on the couch and I just start bawling, like my hands just my face just going in my hands, and I just start crying, and like tears just like start pouring out instantly, and I'm going, I don't want a hospital birth. this can't happen.
And see, I didn't know what she was saying, but I knew what she was feeling. Like I couldn't understand the words, but I just knew.
Yeah, probably.
You know, I did. He thought it sounded like that. But I just knew she was in a tough situation in between knowing and recognizing.
Well, I mean, this is Sage's birth. You know, it's not my birth. I had my own birth. This is Sage's birth. She gets to choose who her parents are, where she wants to be, how she wants to be brought into this world. So I know that her birthing choice is her birthing choice.
She's totally the leader in this situation. You know, it's up to her. But at the same time, I'm looking at Aaliyah crying, and I see in her eyes as a mother, like, she wants Sage to have the most peaceful, loving, highest vibration birth possible, where, you know, the father catches her and we instantly connect with her and
we can
imprint and, you know, they've, you know, not have to worry about writing out a birth plan to make sure they don't detach the placenta and chuck it out in the trash right away, and just worry about them vaccinating our baby.
We plan on doing like an art project where you take the placenta and you put it, you know, you get a piece of paper and you kind of stamp it and it looks like a tree, and, you know, because that placenta is also like a part of her, you know, like
it's birthed with Sage.
It's birthed with her, and
it's created with her.
It's something that she's had throughout her entire, you know, growing and development of, you know, our pregnancy. So, yeah.
It was just seeing Aaliyah between two states of, one, honoring and recognizing like how divine it is for Sage to choose when, where, and how she's going to be born, because it is her birth, and also seeing, you know, a strong mother putting so much preparation and love into Sage's birth, knowing that like she might have to relinquish all that control in order to birth her with love, no matter where we are. So it was like seeing her in between those two states. I knew that was what the buildup of emotion was. So all I could do was really be there for her and support her and provide that unconditional love that needed to be there, no matter what, you know, because we can't control it. You know, it's up to Sage in this game.
So then Hunter said to me, "It's you, me, and Sage. Like, we got this." And so we started grabbing all our stuff, and Koa comes out. He hears us leaving.
This is like 3 a.m., by the way. And, you know, Koa's been asleep for hours. He puts himself to bed.
He's right here.
Can't even see him. He's blended in.
I know.
Hi, baby.
Hi.
Are you gonna have a baby?
So we started saying to Koa, you know, we'll be back soon. We're gonna go get the baby, and you know,
we've kind of just been telling him for months. Are you gonna have a baby?
Are you gonna have a baby?
You're gonna be a big brother, and he knows.
He looks at us and he goes like this. Hmm?
You know, but he doesn't really know it's in Aaliyah's belly. He doesn't really know.
Yeah,
his baby's gonna be birthed. You know, that's really the whole purpose, a huge purpose of our home birth.
For the past couple months, I've just tried to like channel and like show him images of a baby. Of course, I don't know if he understands the word baby. But, you know, I try and send like images like, "Are you gonna have a baby?" You know, and at first it was like he didn't know and he would kind of just jump all over us. But now it's like every time we say it, he goes.
Yeah, kind of does like a little prance, like a confident big brother step.
Yeah, so.
You know, so he kind of understood. We were saying Koa, and he knew his mommy was in pain, so we were like, "Koa, you're gonna have a baby tonight."
Yeah,
you know?
In the midst of contractions, you know, not only were we leaving like our sacred home, you know, like this place that's just so comfortable to us and that we love, but I plan on having Koa there at the birth, you know, the whole time for him to see and like understand what we've been saying this whole time. So here I am, looking at him. He has his tired eyes, and I'm having contractions. I'm going, "Okay, you know, I'll see you later. We're gonna come bring back your sister."
And he's like, "What?" Okay. Yeah. You guys are leaving? So the good thing was that it was night, because he would just go and get in his bed and go to sleep. We wouldn't know how long labor would be. But, yeah, we kind of just had to tell him, you know, we'll be back with the baby, with your sister. And so he kind of knew, made some mouth noises, and then went and laid down. So the drive over there, which we knew all too well from multiple visits before we switched over to our midwives, we drove in silence, we held hands, and just stayed connected, did our best to stay comfortable, in our own presence together, the three of us, Amelia and Sage.
So, as we're pulling up to the hospital, instantly you see these bright LED lights in concrete buildings, and I just get like this heaviness over me as like we approach, and we're driving past the windows, and it's like window, like same looking rooms, and I'm looking inside, and it's the same bed with like these monitors and like claw looking machines on top, and I just looked in the window and I just gasped.
I just remember her like covering her mouth, like
I just gasped.
silent.
Like I couldn't breathe, and I went into shock, and my body just like completely just went into shock, and I could not believe like where we were.
And we drive past this massive bright red neon sign that just says emergency. And it's just like, you just feel such an energy of fear, and like it's just like a dark building and super bright LED lights inside, and it's just not the sacred loving space that we had been preparing for Sage to come in this world with.
That we personally, were not necessarily comfortable with.
Yeah.
We found a place to park, and I'm still having contractions, but I'm looking into this building and I'm going, I feel like I'm more comfortable inside the car. So we have the seat heater on my back, and we start playing some affirmations, like some meditation music, just like trying to breathe, and I just think like I'm definitely more comfortable, or would be more comfortable sitting in this car in our own energy, rather than going in right now and having someone, start a little timer on when I'm in labor. I don't need to have the pressure of how long my labor should be, or what it should be like. We're waiting in the car, and we get a text from my midwife, and she's like, you guys have a few possibilities here. You guys can either go in and they'll give you, the shot. Of course, we looked it up, and it's completely chemical filled. They can give you the shot.
It's a steroid that stops your body from having contractions, because oxytocin is what creates contractions in your body, and adrenaline is like the opposite of oxytocin. So adrenaline would stop your contractions and kind of put you in your body in a different state, like a hold on as long as you can state. And those steroids, we looked up, can cause some serious neurological damage to both the baby and the mother. So that wasn't an option. And then the other possibility was
another shot that would extend or like put off my labor for a few days. I don't know how that works, but it would put off my labor for a few days, and it would kind of force or like speed up Sage's lungs to develop faster, so that way in a few days she'd be able to give birth. I would be able to give birth.
It's like giving an injection to speed up the last 3-4 weeks of pregnancy, so that way the baby can be born prematurely, but fully developed. And that's just not natural at all either.
So both these options, as she was saying them and trying to tell us like what the benefits were of them, I was like, in my head, just nope and nope, and I don't care where I am, like I'm gonna have a natural birth, it's gonna be natural. So she gives us the last option, and she goes, well, if your contractions, stop or they slow down, that could just be early false labor, and you guys could go home and sleep it off, and Sage can continue growing. I kind of just zoned in, and I was trying to meditate, trying to just breathe, and I really was just focusing on what I wanted and what we needed right now. I knew I was not going to do any of the shots or the steroids or the chemicals, so I kind of just started to come into this space of silence, and I was telling myself, this is Sage's birth. If this is what she wants, this is what she wants, and it's my job as the birther or as the mother to come from a place of love and not fear, to do my very best, no matter how she wants it or where she wants it, but just provide the love and trust and be as comfortable as I possibly can. I kind of just broke through to this place of silence, and I started focusing on my breath and knowing that every breath I had was going to her. Focusing on, my breathing and the way my blood was circulating. I really just tried to send the best energy to her. And as I started to relax, I realized like my contractions, they were slowing down, and I was having maybe one every 10 minutes that would last for about 15 seconds. And this is when I like surrendered, and I just started singing, like a song just came through my mouth, and I was just saying, Sage, this is your birth, and Mommy will do whatever she needs to do, and your daddy is here too. I just kept humming that and like just singing it and relaxing, and then I told him to talk to my stomach, and he started talking to Sage, and what'd you say?
I don't know. She loves my voice for some reason.
She absolutely loves his voice. Like before this, every time he would talk to my stomach, instantly I would just get like this feeling of like happiness, and she like pushes her like body up against my stomach and just like rubs herself like all in it, just trying to listen to him.
We thought it was her head that was always rubbing up.
Yeah, we're like, oh, her head, like so nice, so cute.
She's head down already, so it's her butt that she always pushes at me.
She's head down already, so it's her butt that she's like pushing against at him.
So she didn't start rubbing her butt at me this time, but I just went and I put my lips up to Aaliyah's belly, and I was just saying, slow down, take it easy, relax, take your time, this is your birth, do it when you want, but you don't have to rush.
Mommy still wants to do yoga with you.
Yeah, Mommy wants to do some more yoga. Mommy wants to take more pictures with you, and, just slow down, relax, take it easy, no rush, and kind of like moving her up with my hand a little bit. Both of us were doing that, and just, it was kind of at that point that I didn't even know she was having contractions anymore. Like it wasn't, she wasn't making it known to me. Like when they first started, I knew every single one. At this point, it's been like 20 minutes that I didn't even know whether she was having them or not, but just letting her be in that space.
And the second you started talking to her, I felt like this rush from like head to toe of just bliss like come over my body, and I just felt like her energy just like become so happy, and it just, it really felt nice. And even though I was like still kind of having contractions and we still didn't know what was going on, it was like that moment of just like, okay.
Starting to let up.
Yeah. So we got a call from our midwife, and she's like, okay, where are you guys? I'm here at the hospital. We're in the parking lot. She comes over and she sits in the car with us, and she goes over all of our options again. The first one does this and the second one does that. And she was like, how are your contractions? I'm like, I'm still having them, but since we've been talking, I haven't had one. But my midwife starts feeling my stomach, and, she like does a little whisper, and she says, you don't need to come right now. Just stay in there, stay warm. And we both just start laughing, and I start to feel better. And
laughter helped.
Yeah, laughing really helped a lot. It was like, whew, like, okay. She was telling us stories, making us laugh. She was saying, okay, well, since your contractions are kind of starting to slow down and they're almost stopping, you guys could go home and try and sleep. She said, if you're able to sleep, you're not going to be in labor. And she was like, even though my friend's mother-in-law or mom swears that she slept through her second birth, she's like, I don't think that's what's happening here. She was like, so if you want to go with the last option, go home, relax, and do your very best to sleep. And she was like, very well, like this could just be your body responding and tricking your body or your body could be ready for labor, but this could have nothing to do with Sage. So I heard those words and I was like, oh my God, like this could be me doing this. Like this could have nothing to do with Sage. Like Sage could even not even want to be coming right now. This could just be my body responding in a way that's, you know, chemically or hormonally, like trying to push me into labor.
You kind of switched back from like having no control to like kind of having control again, or having a mindset of, you know, this is my mind-body connection. You know, this could be my body. Let me focus in on myself. Not like, Sage is coming. Whoa, everyone get out of the way. Like, this is happening.
Since my contractions were starting to slow down and I was able to breathe, we said our goodbyes. We said thank you so much for being here and waking up and
Like 4 a.m.
you know, leaving your family and coming to be with us and supporting us at like 4 a.m. And, you know, she felt my stomach one more time and then we said goodbye and we headed home. And as we're heading home, it was just like these emotions and thoughts came over me, and I thought, oh wow, like this doesn't have to be like a whole, not traumatic, but like dramatic birthing scene right now. Like this could just be false labor. So it went from I'm giving birth to this could be false labor, and I just started thinking, oh my God, we could have our home birth. Oh my God,
Yeah.
we could, you know, be in a sacred place, you know, how like we originally were comfortable with.
With that intention, I kind of was just relieved that now the mindset switched back into Aaliyah's own body, and that she can focus and channel in on that mind-body connection. So on that drive home, we put on some Ziggy Marley. She asked for some happy music, and we just drove back with a new spirit.
I just had tears of joy that, you know, this was, you know, I kind of had control of it again, and that we didn't necessarily have to go into, you know, this place that I wasn't really comfortable being. And I allowed my body and my thoughts to just like kind of stop thinking about it. Kind of just was like, okay, let's play happy music, let's go home. I'm determined to just sleep. I'm determined to just, you know, pass out right now. We came home. You had a soft jacket on. I said, give me your jacket.
Give me that.
I'm wearing that jacket. Give me my sweats. And I put all my pillows down, and we both just passed out. And
Easy.
and here we are. I could still do some prenatal yoga. We could go take a prenatal class since we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I could take more pictures with her. I get to really cherish my last, you know, few weeks of pregnancy with her and, you know, enjoy them. And I think this has been a well-needed, maybe a little over-the-top, overwhelming lesson of preparation, you know, that we need to prepare, and how much, you know, we love each other.
I'm definitely grateful for the experience and the lesson, because as if
And the
like
support.
perfect time, and yeah,
And the support.
we just realized how much, you know, we're there for each other, and how in control Sage really is of when it's her birth. Really having that understanding.
It's all her choice. You know, when you spend the past 8 months planning not exactly, but planning like how you want it,
Planning out, making preparations,
and talking
you know?
to everyone and researching, and all these hours of exactly like what would be the most gentle, you know, spiritual, enlightening, you know, connective way to give birth. And, you know, talking with all your friends and family, and, you know, getting excited, and a water birth, and we're water signs, and she's gonna be a water sign, and, you know, having Koa here. And it's like, in a matter of 2 seconds, it was like ripped, like gone, like
Yeah.
definitely a grounding experience. And I would say that I'm very grateful
Yeah,
for it,
me too.
even though it was a lot of pain. You know, I definitely see past all the pain. I see past all the tiredness. and I know that it was an experience I'll be grateful for.
Because now every day for the rest of this pregnancy is, and I'm just speaking from my perspective, like, you know, you're the one holding her. Every day from that here on out and the rest of the pregnancy is a day of appreciation and gratitude for, you know, for the end of Sage's process of growing and developing inside of Aaliyah. Because it's unlike anything I've ever witnessed. I know it's unlike anything you've ever experienced, and
I think it was nice, like, seeing how we work together.
yeah, definitely.
You know, like, I thought maybe I could be like this angry, just terrible person, or, you know, it was going to be so excruciating I wasn't going to know what to do with myself. And it's like, yeah, it was really painful, and there were definitely real contractions. But once you get into a certain space in your head, it's like you're able to work with them, you know. Like Hunter said, like, I kind of just stopped telling him about them. It was just like, at first it was like, oh my god, this is the worst thing in my entire life, and then it went into, you know, I'm working with this, and this is a process, and, you know, you start to become really appreciative, and you kind of start to enjoy it, and it's honestly really awesome.
And it's not anything that you could have prepared for, or, you know, birth is not anything you could really prepare for. It's something that you had to experience, and I'm grateful that you got to experience at least the emotions, at least the mindset of, okay, I'm going into labor, you know, because then it's like you got a glimpse into that appreciation
and surrendering.
Definitely, you got a glimpse into surrendering, into letting go and understanding that it's Sage's process. You know, it's really beautiful.
That is our false
labor
labor story. Many lessons, definitely experience that we'll never forget.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go cherish her and give her some fruits.
Every moment.
Every moment, I'm gonna go give her some fruit right now and do some yoga and meditate with her and maybe break down and cry a little bit and just let her know how much I love her.
Yeah.
How much I love us and how happy and grateful I am for this whole experience.
I love you.